All right, the title of mine is called "A Life of Freedom," and you guys let me know. Are we out of time? Okay. Okay. All right. Let me be clear. This is Paul speaking. The Anointed One has set us free, not partially, but completely and wonderfully free. We must always cherish this truth and stubbornly refuse to go back into the bondage of our past. I, Paul, tell you, if you think there is benefit in circumcision, meaning in keeping rules and keeping the law and judging yourself, and Jewish regulations, then you're acting as though Jesus, the Anointed One, is not enough. I say it again, empathetically. If you let yourselves be circumcised, again, judging yourself, keeping your own score record, scorebook, judging where you are, judging where you're not. It's all law-based. It's all Old Testament, Old Covenant mindset when we do that. Okay. I say again, empathetically, if you let yourselves be circumcised, you are obliged to fulfill every single one of the commandments and regulations of the law. If you want to be made holy by fulfilling the obligations of the law, you have cut off more than your flesh. You have cut yourselves off from the Anointed One and have fallen away from the revelation of grace. But the Holy Spirit convinces us that we have received by faith the glorious righteousness of the Anointed One. When your place is at your way telling me I need to stop. I can stop anymore with that. But the Holy Spirit convinces us that we have received by faith the glorious righteousness of the Anointed One. When you're placed into the Anointed One and joined to Him, circumcision and regulations, obligations can benefit you nothing. All that matters now is living in the faith that is activated and brought to perfection by love. Before you were led astray, you were so faithful to Messiah. Why have you now turned away from that, from what is right and true? Who has deceived you? The one who enfolded you into His grace is not behind this false teaching that you've embraced. Not at all. Don't you know that when you allow even a little lie into your heart, you can permeate your entire belief system? I'm gonna stop right there. One of the things that the Holy Spirit gave me this morning was that He wants to. All right, He wants to pervade us. Pervade means to become diffused throughout every part of. Diffuse. The definition of that is spread or cause to spread over a wide area or among a large number of people. My wife has a diffuser, and she loves it. And so she puts essential oils in there, and when she turns it on, it spreads throughout the whole house. You can smell it in every room, and it does wonders. I'll let her talk to you about the essential oils, but it does. It changes the atmosphere in our house, especially the lavender oil. I'll stop right there. But it changes the atmosphere in our house, the diffuser, when she runs it. And so the Holy Spirit, again, He wants to pervade us. He wants to be diffused inside of us and completely change our nature, completely around, to the point where, again, you're in unison with Him. Your decisions are with His. Your thoughts, your opinions line up with Him. And that unity, Jesus had that. You saw it in Jesus' life. He didn't stop every now and then and say, okay, I need to pray and hear what the Father wants to do today, or right here, right in a second. And I'm not saying that He didn't go away and pray by Himself. I mean, like in the midst of praying for people, He didn't say, okay, I don't think the Father wants to heal you. I don't think the Holy Spirit wants to do that. Okay, we need to go over here. Blah, blah. Like He was in such unity with the Holy Spirit that He was just going with the Holy Spirit. He's been led by the Spirit, and as many as are led by the Spirit, those are the sons of God, right? And so that's what He wants to do. Your desires become aligned with the Holy Spirit's desire. I heard a guy illustrate it like, he said a couple dancers that the older generation will probably know, but they were ballroom dancers. and they were so good. I'll get the name for you some other time. But they were so good that you couldn't tell who was leading. They were that good. You couldn't. You just couldn't tell who was leading because they were such a unity that they were just flowing with each other. And the Holy Spirit wants to do the same thing in our life. And so to the point where, again, like your thoughts become His thoughts. You don't think twice about. Today, I was walking into Kroger's to buy something for lunch, and this lady walks in front of me, and she has a cane, and she's got just a really bad limp. And I thought she had a fake leg. Her limp was that bad. And I go past her, and I actually thought to like run, chase her down, and like, hey, can I pray for you? But I didn't do that. I didn't do that, and so I just walked, got what I needed to get, and as I'm walking past her, I said, Lord, if there's an opportunity, then present it. If there's something here, if there's something that you want me to do to help her, to speak to her, then I thank you for making it clear. And so I went and got what I needed to get, and I'm checking out in line, and she's in the Kroger's in Marion, and so they have like a bank in there. I'm not sure what the name of the bank is, but she's sitting in one of the chairs. And she's just bawling. She's just crying her eyes out. And she was with another person. And I'm as far away from her as I am for you. And if for me that was clear enough. And again, just talking about like you being in unity with the Holy Spirit, I felt He wanted to go over there, and so I went over there. And she's crying. And I just kneel down next to her and I say what's wrong? Can I help you with anything? And of course I'm nervous. Don't get me wrong. I do get a little nervous when I do that. But I know His heart is to help people, to heal people, to see people made whole, complete, right? And we have received salvation. We are whole. We're complete. We're completely restored in Him, completely redeemed. And so I know that He wants the same thing for other people. And so I go over there, and she's like, my husband just, this is, I think it was like an anniversary, like he had died, and she was just crying, and I said, I was behind you when you were walking into the store, and I noticed that we talked about her husband, sorry, but I noticed that you were walking with a really bad limp. What's wrong with your leg? And she said, I have cerebral palsy. I was born this way. And I said, do you mind if I pray for you about your husband and just ask God to heal your body as well? And she said, yeah. And so I did. I prayed for her. There's people, staring at us and wondering what's going on. And so again, like for long story short, I didn't see what I wanted to see, to be honest with you. She didn't get healed. She actually had the humility, she had the patience to stand up and walk to make sure that I asked her, it's like, if something had changed in your body right now, would you be able to tell? And she got up and she walked, and she's still walking with a limp. And so that was just, the encounter was a blessing, but what I'm about to say next is, I think, was more, just as important as her either being healed or not being healed, or be walking up and talking to her. She thought that God had made her that way. And I feel like the Holy Spirit just, even if she didn't get healed, He wanted her to know the truth about who her father is. Because she was a Christian. And she said, I pray all the time, and he wants me this way. He made me this way. And I said, honey, do you mind if I share something with you? And you can tell she was kind of getting a little nervous because people were starting to stare. And I said, he didn't do that to you. He's not, that wouldn't make him a good father. If your father, your personal father, was to harm you, to do something bad to you, would he be a good person? And she said no. And I said, God is the same way. Like, He's not going to put something on you to hinder your life from having an abundance of life. That's why He came. And so I just left it at that. But That's all that to say that like today was a really strong, a strong pulling of like the Holy Spirit wants to go this way. You know, and so again, like this unity, this he wants to live inside of us. He's a person, and he wants to lead us. Like dancers, one dancer has to lead the next. If both are trying to lead, it's not going to look good, right? If both are trying to go their own way, even in relationship, if both of us are trying to lead at the same time, it's not going to work, right? You have to yield. You have to yield to him. You have to allow him to be a leader. He's a really good leader. He really is. And he wants the best for you. He wants the abundance of life that Jesus had for you. He wants to represent Jesus through you, so he wants to lead you in every way to do that, right? And so again, like everything that you may feel like you're missing, like he wants to put that in you. So I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna jump to. Are we doing okay